certificate available at your nearest participating Diet Center.
The Cubs prepare for the playoffs. The Bears eager to face the Eagles. Sports Sunday at 10:30.
Live from the NBC Tower, this is Channel 5 News with Ron Majors and Carol Maureen, John Coleman with weather, and Mark Giangreco with sports. The Channel 5 News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to our new home at the NBC Tower.
We'll be taking you on a tour of this tower a bit later, but first, I must tell you that there is a collective sigh of relief in this building that this first newscast has even made it on the air. There will be another collective sigh of relief tomorrow morning when drivers hit the Dan Ryan, because the construction there, as Sharon Wright tells us, is also over.
Goodbye to jackhammer headaches and 2 years of construction chaos on the Dan Ryan. There will be a new dawning when you hit the rush hour tomorrow morning. Flick of the switch by Governor Thompson, the $250 million highway rehab was open to traffic today.
Transportation experts from around the world have viewed the reconstruction of the Dan Ryan Expressway as an extraordinary project.
More than 250,000 motorists travel this 3.5-mile rebuilt section each day, making it one of the busiest in the world and the most dangerous in the state. Key change involves redesigning the northbound section of the Ryan between Roosevelt Road and the Eisenhower. The new ramp separates Dan Ryan traffic from traffic entering the Eisenhower, and that's expected to dramatically cut down on weaving and congestion. Plus, there is an additional 5th lane each way between I-55 and 290, the Eisenhower. That makes drivers like Bill Sutherland very happy.
I think it's going to be great with that 5th lane and take about 15-20 minutes off my trip.
The largest such project in the state's history was also one of the most efficient. Despite keeping the Ryan open to more than 50% of its usual load of traffic, the project came in a month ahead of schedule. That resulted in $2.5 million in bonuses to contractors. But the real bonus for motorists is the early return to traveling the Ryan Express. Sharon Wright, Channel 5 News.
But tomorrow morning, don't take that sigh of relief too deeply. There's more to come. Between April and October of next year, they'll be closing the Dan Ryan ramp to I-55 for more construction.
There were tearful reunions today as thousands of East German refugees arrived in West Germany. Trainloads of them began arriving from Czechoslovakia and Poland, with friends and relatives cheering and applauding each train. They had jammed West German embassies in Prague and Warsaw for weeks and finally got the green light to leave from the communist East German government. The West German foreign minister says his government is talking with East Germany about passage to the West for even more refugees. In Beijing, China, it celebrated its 40th anniversary today with huge fireworks shows in Tiananmen Square. But there was tight security to prevent protests reminiscent of the crushed pro-democracy movement. It was October 1st, 1949, that Mao Zedong declared the founding of the People's Republic of China, the world's most populous Chinese state.
Tonight, Chicago is mourning the loss of one of its best-known aldermen. 30th Ward Alderman George Hagopian suffered an apparent heart attack last night while on a vacation in Lake Geneva. Hagopian was chairman of the City Council's Veterans Affairs Committee. Tonight, Mayor Richard Daley remembered the alderman as a devoted politician.
Alderman Hagopian was an outstanding public servant, one who dedicated his life to government and politics in Chicago. He would be dearly missed, not only by his family, by the citizens of the city. He was devoted to the Veterans Commission for many years of this city.
The mayor will nominate a replacement for Hagopian. The city council must confirm the nominee.
The community of Naperville is reaching out to help one family cope with staggering medical bills, already close to $1 million. 17-year-old Michelle Bailey is back in Loyola Hospital after a recent setback involving a bone marrow transplant for leukemia. The family's insurance has run out, so a chain of Naperville hair salons decided to hold a cut-a-thon today. All profits, including tips, will go to the family. Michelle's father says he is deeply touched by this kind of outpouring from his neighbors.
A disease like this doesn't just happen to Michelle, it happens to the whole family. This is something that the whole family has to group together and give Michelle a hand.
There's a trust fund for Michelle at the Naperville Bank on South Washington.
Still to come here on the Channel 5 News, we'll show you how we accomplished our move to the new tower, and John Coleman will give us a little tour of this new facility.
The Channel 5 News is being sponsored in part by Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers.
Junior Bacon Cheeseburger tastes so fine. Wendy's got 7 for $99. I ain't telling you no lie. Biggie drink and biggie fries. Hot chili garden salad to go. Wendy's got 7 for $99. Cool frost beef baked potato. Wendy's got 7 for $99.
Introducing the Super Value Menu from Wendy's. 7 big items for 99 cents each. A great selection, a great value. Try it today.
Wendy's got 7 for $99.
Recently, Road and Track magazine concluded a search for the world's 5 best cars. After exhaustive testing and analysis, they chose 4 exotic sports cars. And even more significantly, only 1 sedan. The Mercedes-Benz 300E.
The feeling continues when you tune your radio to WMUA.
Tonight begins a new era here at Channel 5 News. For the first time, we're broadcasting from the new NBC Tower located at City Front Center. We moved from the Merchandise Mart overnight, and as Channel 5's Rich Samuels is here to tell us the move was long and hard and bittersweet. Rich?
Well, Carol, moving here from the Mart has been a traumatic experience. It's not just the logistics, it's the emotion. But we've done a pretty good job of bringing off this final phase in just under 24 hours.
Saturday night!
After the news last night,
Can't eat it.
A final moment. But the movers are not far behind, so farewell to the Mart.
Mom, send money!
And hello to the NBC Tower where we carry on. How are we doing? We start at the news desk.
What problems, if any, here?
Phones.
Our scanners haven't been working, and we don't have our two-way radio communication.
Our news tape editing area.
What are the problems here at this hour?
Well, we still don't have the record room up. We got the editing booths all the way up.
This room is operable?
This room will be operable very shortly.
Our news graphics area where they're still wiring things together.
Everything under control?
Everything's out of control.
Are the commercials on a separate reel from me?
I hope so. I don't know that.
Our engineers have kept us on the air, but none of this process has been easy.
It's hectic trying to learn a new system.
On-the-air learning program.
And you're going to hit the tab key, and then you're going to hit *1.
It's a learning experience for all of us.
You're all moved in, everything's going well.
Perfectly. No problem. We've got enough room to do it down and out. We can send them deep. A lot more room to maneuver here.
All we have left now is the Sports Sunday thing that's in the paint shop right now.
Applying color to the letters for the Sports Sunday logo, which appears behind the sportscaster.
Will it be ready by tonight?
Yes.
When we saw the Peacock airlifted yesterday, we knew the moment had almost arrived. 2 years, 11 months, and 9 days after they broke ground here, we're home, our new home. Well, a few rough edges remain perhaps, but beyond them we see a new home of great potential. But most important, we see all of our colleagues here who made the move with us. Carol and Ron.
It's true, thank you.
I guess most of us have found our way to the new building, and most of our stuff is even here, though still in boxes. And John's going to take us on a little tour of the place.
This is really fun, Ron, Carol, and dear friends. And I think we'll start outside so we can get the big picture. The NBC Tower, the first new structure of the City Front Center. The building is modeled to resemble the famous Rockefeller Center in New York, long the home of NBC's network programs. Channel 5 is moving into the first 4 floors. And what a television station it is. There are 2 major studios, big enough to handle any productions. And the control rooms look like they could handle a NASA mission to the moon. The electronic gadgets are the best, and the effects they will do will blow your mind. And this is the heart of the television station, master control. This is where the network programs and the local programs and the videotape programs and commercials are all woven together and then beamed out to your home. For us in the Channel 5 News Department, this is our new home on the first floor. At the center is our new anchor desk under the futuristic eyes of these new robotic cameras. And just behind it, the producers and the directors who do the planning for the program. Fanned out around them are the writers and researchers, the reporters and specialists who put together the individual stories that make up the newscast. Underneath this parade of monitors are the assignment editors. These are among the best informed people in this city and beyond. Via computers and telephones and radios, they keep track of every news event in the city. Circling the newsroom are the offices of the news executives, the anchors, and the sports department and weather center. Over here in a connecting area is the critical news videotape editing complex. This is where incoming video reports are edited and then played back as part of the news. How do we properly say thank you to the really thousands of people who built this marvelous building and constructed this beautiful television station? We can't do that tonight. It's going to take us years. Ron and Carol. Good. Thanks,
Thank you, John. Just ahead on the Channel 5 News, John will be back with us with the forecast. Stay with us.
Look to Jewel for the best beverage bargain. Start your day with a cup of Maxwell House coffee. Assorted grinds are just $4.29 a can. Enjoy Citrus Hill Select Frozen Orange Juice. A 12-ounce can is 99 cents. And stock up now on 7-Up favorites. A 2-liter bottle is only $1.19. For the best beverage bargains,
Take a look at an old friend Jewel.
This year, all the new GMs, all the Fords, Chryslers, imports have one thing in common: the ultimate gasoline guarantee. Amoco is so confident in the quality of engine cleaning ultimate, they guarantee its regular use in any new car will prevent fuel system problems caused by gasoline. Or Amoco pays you for the repair. This guarantee is for every new car, and only at Amoco.
I hear that right now McDonald's is giving you folks a special deal depending on whether the Bears beat my Eagles. If the Bears win, McDonald's will give everyone a quarter-pounder with cheese for just 99 cents. And if the Bears lose, McDonald's will give them fries for just 25 cents. I sure hope you folks like fries.
The Bears versus the Eagles. Will it be a quarter-pounder with cheese or fries?
In ancient times, man wondered, how can we best harness the awesome power of an eclipse? Today, science has at last provided the answer. Use all 4 wheels. Introducing the Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX Turbo with full-time all-wheel drive.
To be one of the most beautiful weekends October has ever recorded.
Well, it was the first weekend of October. I hate to think what the last one might be because the cold front is coming. And this is an important week for outdoor events here. The Bears tomorrow night, the Cubs on Wednesday and Thursday. Everybody wants us to stay like this. It won't. Here's the story. At 10 o'clock in the big city of Chicago, the temperature's at 64 degrees officially at O'Hare, also in Grant Park and downtown. And the humidity is 87%, south breeze at about 12 miles an hour. I'll repeat that. The temperature at O'Hare Field at 10 o'clock is 64 degrees. Humidity is 87%, a south wind at 12. Grant Park 64, Midway Airport 64. What's this? A radar display that shows almost nothing, but a few light showers have broken out over Minnesota. Yes, and it's mixed with a few flakes of snow in northern Minnesota. I have looped together the 48 hours of satellite views to show the cold front pushing across Winnipeg, pushing across the Dakotas, roaring into Minnesota. But you can kind of see that it's not coming roaring at Chicago. Rather, it's kind of slipping north of us. We'll be on the south edge. But nonetheless, our gorgeous warm spell, our 15 dry days, well, all of that's kind of coming to an end. Here's the way I have currently got the radar and satellite picture combined, showing we're still clear over Illinois and Indiana, most of Wisconsin, but the front is coming. And I've drawn the morning weather map like this. What's the blue? That's snow. Well, this year, snow is colored blue, and I'm showing a snowstorm tomorrow morning over Ontario, just north of Lake Superior, and some snow back into the mountains, extending out of North Dakota. And the cold front, by tomorrow evening, will have pushed south of Chicago, and our south wind will have turned to the north, and our wonderful weekend will be just a memory. So we just want to go back to work tomorrow. Wear sweaters, jackets, because even though our temperature will touch 70, this is a misnomer. As the day goes on and the winds shift, the temperature will start dropping like a rock. So here's my 5-day outlook, and you can begin to get the story. Monday will drop to 57 by evening, and during the Bears game, expected to be pretty cold with a fairly gusty wind blowing on the lakeshore. Tuesday, high only 60 with a shower in the morning. Wednesday, Cubs, high 60 by game time in the 50s. I'm disappointed. Thursday, 66 for a high. By game time, down around 60. And then Friday, we probably got up to about 70. Extending to our exclusive 7-day outlook, I can show you that we do expect that there won't be any strong cold fronts before next weekend. Next Saturday and Sunday, I'm predicting highs around the 70 mark and sunny weather. So back to the question that Ron asked at the beginning. Can we get any more nice October weekends like this? Yeah, maybe next weekend. Here's the detailed Monday forecast. Low 57, high 70. But dropping quickly to about 55 by 6 p.m. And during the day tomorrow, the morning clouds may produce a touch of drizzle, but I really don't think so. And the sun will begin to peek out in the afternoon as the colder, drier air comes in. Along the beaches, a high of 68, and at O'Hare, 70. But everywhere will be down in the 50s by the time folks are headed off to work and out on their going to a Bears party or whatever. Carol and Ron?
For the opening of a new station.
Any nice?
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
This was a good rehearsal.
Richard Phelan, who is running for county board president, has been in the political spotlight before in Chicago, and as Dick Kay recalls in his commentary now, it was several years ago when another Daley was mayor.
Carol, Richard Phelan is running against George Dunn for president of the Cook County Board. You might remember Phelan as a special counsel to the House Ethics Committee in its investigation of former Speaker Jim Wright. The publicity gained was the catalyst for Phelan's run for county board president. Phelan was a hired gun in the ethics investigation, just as he was 14 years ago when the late Richard J. Daley turned to Phelan for help. In his announcement last week, Phelan said he has learned how unhealthy it can be when high government officials become entrenched and their power unchallenged. Well, Daley was entrenched, and his police force was on trial for civil rights violations in the hiring and promotion of policemen. Phelan was hired to fight those charges in a case which lasted for years. Phelan argued that hiring and promotion was based on merit, that there was no policy to discriminate against blacks. He defended the use of grammar tests and quizzes on reading ability. The city was found guilty of discrimination, and quotas were imposed on the police force, and that after only $114 million in federal revenue sharing funds were frozen. The Justice Department and attorneys for the Afro-American Patrolmen's League argued the case cost the city millions in interest and legal fees. Phelan said he was just an attorney doing his job, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But now he's a candidate asking for votes, and he says he's someone with a lifelong interest in responsive, sensitive, and open government. So I'm sure he won't mind if we open the entire book. I'm Dick Kay.
When we say you give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. Ever wonder what it means? It means that on WMAQ radio, in a short amount of time, you get all the news you need, and you won't have to wait. WMAQ has weather every 4 minutes, traffic every 10, and news all the time. So when you only have a short time to catch up with us.
WMAQ, all news 67. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
At Illinois Bell, they think that buying a lot of expensive phone equipment in order to get a good communication system is a little like buying a cow to get a glass of milk. It just isn't practical. A better idea is the Ameritech Small Business System from Illinois Bell. With Ameritech, all the specialized equipment is at Illinois Bell, and you tap into it using ordinary, inexpensive phones. Call and see how you can get what you want without buying what you don't need.
So, where was I?
Your bank. Yeah, trim that jib some, will you?
Yeah. When I first started talking about bringing my business there, they did everything but make coffee for me. I mean, these guys were camped out in my lobby.
And now you want to get them out of your lobby?
Well, I wish. They're vanished by themselves. Now, if I need something, I have to camp out in their lobby.
Trim the mains or something.
Oh, that's fine. I know I'm not their biggest customer, but I'd like to get something for my money. If I'm not getting service from, what am I getting?
Calendar?
Yeah, I bet you don't get that good a service from your bank either.
Well, if the truth be known, we get a lot of attention from the guys at our bank.
You think I ought to give them a call?
Do I tell you what to do? Coil that gypsy, will you?
Attentiveness, another reason more mid-sized Chicago area businesses rely on American National than any other bank. American National, the bank for business.
We clean up pretty good, huh?
We look like the front row of a house band, I think. You know, lead singer, here we go. Cubs are home, too. The National League Eastern Division champion Cubs wrapped up their Cinderella season down in St. Louis today, the same way they opened it up way back in April, with a victory. It was kind of a microcosm of the entire season. Pick it up in the first inning with Andre Dawson at the plate. Andre gets his licks in today. A rocket to right. Harry thinks it's gone, but it's not. It's off the wall. Sandberg aboard at the time. He scores easily. Andre around the horn for a stand-up triple. It's 1-0 Cubs. Then in the seventh inning, Rick Rona, the guy has been incredible down the stretch. This one's out of here. He smashes a solo shot to left, and it's 2-0 good guys. Rick Sutcliffe is looking good in his tune-up for his start in Game 3 of the playoffs. He picks up his 16th victory of the season, and then Jeff Pico comes in to finish up. Cubs win 5-1. They roll up a record of 93 and 69, and then it was time to board the bus and head home to the fans.
The Cubs win the division.
Zimmer for president!
Great year, huh? Great year, great year. Great players, great talent, great young players mixed with the old. What else could you want?
Mark Grace, I love you! I'm proud of you, Cubbies!
Oh, my ulcers, palpitations, I got hives and headaches too. I'm afraid to even think it. Can my Cubbies pull it through? It's September, I remember other years and other times, how they blew it, can they do it? Zimmer's Cubs of '89.
Yeah, then the team bus pulled out of O'Hare. They made the poor fans line the roadside. They would have let them in the airport, but they didn't care. Then they pulled into Wrigleyville about 8:30. To a man, these guys are fired up and ready to answer the bell on Wednesday.
This is what it's about. I wish I can do this all the time, but you know, it's a great, you know, thing that we came home, you know, as winners, and you know, starting Wednesday, we have to start off the playoffs with the Giants, and we hope that we could be successful.
Hope so. Meanwhile, on the south side, well, Sox fans are hoping for some kind of Christmas present this year. The Sox finished on the wrong end again. Rich Dotson looked good till Deion James ripped him for one to right. That scored Dave Clark in the 5. Well, that was the only run of the game. Barry Jones got Robin Ventura, Ron Major's cousin, to put the Sox out of their misery in '89. 1-0 the final. See you later, Jeff. All right, let's recap the NL East. Cubs 93 and 69. They finished 6 ahead of the Mets, 7 up on St. Louis. In the NL West, San Francisco wins it 92 and 70. There it is. San Diego put on a charge and finished 3 back. The AL West, the Oakland A's, the mighty A's with the best record in baseball at 99 and 63. The Sox in the cellar, 29 and a half out, winning only 69 games. In the AL East, the Blue Jays take it. They beat Baltimore by 2. Well, back here, the Blackhawks continue their NHL exhibition season at the stadium tonight. They wound up beating Edmonton. The final there was 5-3. And finally, we leave you with the quintessential Cardinal highlight of the year. Pedro Guerrero going to third, showing you he's a good sport, goes head over heels for the Cubs' success. That's Sports Sunday coming up at 10:30 with Dave Dewerson and Mitch Williams. Mitch brought his bowling ball. Dave brought his bad shoulder.
Nice of each of them. Thank you, Mark.
Still ahead here on the Channel 5 News, Mark Harmon tells what it was like playing opposite Elizabeth Taylor. Stay tuned.
See how big that glove box is?
Big glove box.
Yeah, good. Stick your head in the glove box.
Why would I do that?
You can stick your whole head in the glove box.
Yeah, great.
Come on, admit it. This is a much smoother ride than the Ford truck.
All right, I admit it. 2 whiskey dogs, 2 fries, 2 sodas.
Why would you buy a truck with technology that's over 10 years old when the Chevy here's been totally redesigned?
I don't know. Force of habit. Now, enough already, will ya? I'm not gonna go buy a Chevy. I just bought a new truck.
Hey, that's my point, pals. You didn't buy a new truck. You bought a Ford.
In this package is over 40 years of experience in overseas shipping and access to more air routes worldwide. Because Flying Tigers has changed its stripes and merged with Federal Express to form the largest all-cargo airline in the world.
What do $60 a night motel chains offer you that you can't get at Red Roof Inns? Well, let's add them up and see. This handy shower cap, 59 cents. Shampooette, $2. Dental floss, always a plus. And, ooh, we're still spending $27 a night more than at Red Roof Inns. Wait a minute, I forgot the mint.
Don't pay too much. Hit the roof. Red Roof Inns. Call 1-800-THE-ROOF.
It's a good mint. It's not worth $27, but it's good.
Does your boss know you're giving away $15,000 this Thursday?
Well, he's living large. It's his money.
How do you win?
Just put your radio on WGCI. Power 107.5. Listen starting at 7:15 Thursday morning. We'll announce 15 different birthdays. One of them matches yours, you could win $1,000.
Where'd you get this money?
Hey, what up, boss? My man.
WGCI, Power 107.5. More winners guaranteed.
15 grand. 15 winners. Starting at 7:15 Thursday morning on GCI. I won't stand for this. You can quote him on that.
Mark Harmon got another big break tonight with his role in Sweet Bird of Youth, and he told entertainment reporter Norman Mark that playing opposite Elizabeth Taylor was at times a bit frightening.
Hey, Gene, for your time's up.
A former UCLA quarterback, star of St. Elsewhere, seen in such films as The Presidio, Summer School, and Stealing Home. Married to Pam Dauber and trying to prove himself as an actor for almost 20 years. His big chance came tonight when he played Chance Wayne in Sweet Bird of Youth opposite Elizabeth Taylor.
This is a really classic role, and in high school when I first read this play and then later on got to do scenes from it in acting class after college and stuff, I think as any young actor, it's a role that you kind of admire and hope to someday get an opportunity to do. Certainly, to a degree, I think frightened me some, and again, you know, to be in that situation. I mean, I wanted to be there. I've worked hard to get in that position, to be standing opposite Elizabeth Taylor in a scene and knowing that she's going to demand the best from me.
Harmon told me that a simple scene in which his character sees his old friends was the most difficult to do, until he talked to his director.
I said, Nick, I've been thinking about that. I can't let it go. I don't think we hit the beats of it. I don't think... And he said, what, Mark? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I tried to explain, and finally he said, Mark, look, it's a bar scene, okay? You know, and that kind of defined it for me.
And I thought that Mark Harmon did a fine job in his role. Not quite as steamy as Paul Newman was in the 1964 movie, but with his own open-faced naivete. It was Elizabeth Taylor that caused me some problems. I thought Liz was, well, a comic dumpling in her role. Norman's Mark, 2 stars at most. I'm Norman Mark, Channel 5 News.
Well, we pretty much made it.
We did. We did, thanks to all the people you can't see all around here.
This broadcast culminates a construction project that started almost 3 years ago. Over that time, we followed its progress from groundbreaking to tonight's first program. So as we say goodnight, let us relive some of those anxious moments with you. Good night.
Good night.